Right off the bat, what's your favorite season? Just like right out, someone
My
asked you.
my favorite season, season two. You had Richie, you had Bompancero, that whole storyline. You had Junior trying to make a move again, and then he pins it on Richie. You had Janice involved, Olivia. Uh,
I I have to agree. I mean, really hot take. Maybe season one, but not. It doesn't quite get there because it's just a little bit different than all the other seasons.
yeah,
So continuity is not really there in some spots, but you can't really blame them. I mean,
yeah,
they didn't know.
yeah. The whole see, I did. I love season one, but first few episodes, it was like, and then you had the hit is a hit, and had nothing to do with the rest of it.
I don't know what I did, but I was trying to do my background, and I ended up with that. That's my one of my Sopranos edits. It's supposed to be my background, but it's on my palm.
I never seen that before.
That's cool. Anyways, okay. Let me fix that. Jesus. Oh, I know what I did. Okay, I'm dumb. I'm brand new to this. Bear with me, everyone.
I'm new too.
I had on my PC, I had it set up. I had like Satrials set up as my background. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Thank you, Ro.
Nice. Why is that? Okay. It's just not doing the effects because it doesn't want to work for me. No effects. All right. Let me not complicate that. Sorry, guys.
So yeah, the whole season one thing. It was so here's the thing with season one. I'm sure you've heard of this before. The Sopranos was mostly supposed to be based on music, but
I don't know if I've heard this take. Okay. Keep going.
so it was supposed to be based on music, and it was supposed to be Hesh was supposed to be mainly like really into it, right?
All right.
And so the Jerry Adler didn't have a contract, and then that's why they didn't go with it. So that hit is a hit. That was the only time we saw him really with the whole music thing.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So he would have been a bigger character if it wasn't for his contracts because he was doing other stuff at the time.
Right. Okay. That yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. Give me one second. Let me pull up my list real quick. So
He's just getting his list together. He has some questions for me. What's up, Vince? Vince boy.
all right. So through all the seasons, who's the most overrated character?
Most overrated character for me would be Silvio.
Why? Okay.
Okay, so I always said this on the other live streams I do. I think he's the worst character on the show, like the main characters.
Really?
I feel like he's a because I'm fully Italian, so I feel like he's a stereotype,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That
and
makes sense now.
yeah, and he always has the same face on. I don't think he was that great of an actor. He had like maybe three funny scenes for me.
Hmm.
So that's who I would say as far as that.
Overrated. Okay.
And I know people are going to flame me for that because they already did that already. Yeah.
That's I mean I can kind of I can kind of see it now coming if you're coming from like the actual Italian perspective and the way that his that's his whole persona is the Italian uh with the whole Italian Defamation Act and all that the whole Columbus Day episode actually really pulls on that.
Did you know that that whole scene was really supposed to be for Tony Sirico?
Really?
Yeah, so Tony Sirico had some surgery and then he comes back in the middle of season 4. But all the lines, like, and everything from the first few episodes of season 4 were all stuff Tony Sirico would say. For example, the whole Columbus thing was supposed to be for Paulie, not for Silvio. And then the whole thing with Bobby Bacala, with the whole Quasimodo predicted all this, that was supposed to be Tony Sirico's line.
That's that's crazy that you say that because that like the whole series is almost like backwards like that. Like so many of the actors actresses that like went in trying out for one character, they don't get that one, but they're like, no, we can still use you. So that's
Yeah.
you don't do that, but do that. Like how many people tried out for Tony Soprano? I mean, I think what everyone in the main crew at least
Oh,
auditioned for him.
yeah, you had all of them.
Plus,
Artie, um, yeah, Rispoli.
I did recently just see Van Zant's his tape so- for playing Tony, and
Yeah,
it's great, but you can't see anything but like Silvio in his act, even when he's trying to play the Tony lines. It's like that's Silvio playing Tony.
yeah. And you watched, it was on Netflix. What's it called? With Stevie Van Zandt?
Oh, I haven't. I know what you're talking about. I haven't though.
Yeah, it was good. Let me try and think of the name quick. Lilyhammer.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't. But everyone raves about it. All our Silvio fans rave about it.
Yeah. So basically, in there, I'm not gonna lie, he did play a good number one guy. Um, he can't. He wouldn't have been able to do what Gandolfini did, though. Hell no.
No, he's got too much character.
Yeah.
Tony's too subtle for that flamboyant persona.
Yeah. 100%.
Hold on, let me check this real quick.
Yeah. He's got more.
Okay, I got a decent one that you might be able to elaborate on.
All right.
Uh, did therapy help Tony or did it hurt him? Like overall, dude, like from
Oh.
beginning to end, was it a good thing or was it a bad thing, and why?
All right. I feel like it's a. It's kind of a gift and a curse because, all right, it helped him with the mob stuff, but it did. It also did hurt him with the mob stuff because I feel like if he would have just let Junior be boss and not do the thing with that he heard Melfi say and then was like pretending Junior's boss type thing.
Right,
If he would have just played it straight, he would have been good. Junior would have been in jail, and then he would have been the boss.
right.
The way he went about it with the therapy stuff, that part wasn't good. But as far as the home life stuff, no, it didn't help him. No. And you know
uh,
what? I think that Melfi was not a good psychiatrist because I feel like she was just that was her entertainment for the week.
yeah, that was her look but can't touch, but
Yeah.
that definitely like cross that line, but like that's the closest that yeah, that's definitely the closest she'll ever get to the mob life.
Yeah.
Um,
And you could say the same for like somebody like Artie too. Artie was like the same way. He was didn't want to get close, but he was a little too close sometimes.
right. Well, he was spoiled too though, because he was Tony's friend growing up, so like he wasn't he wasn't dumb. He couldn't play, he couldn't quite play the Carmela card, even though Carmela's
Yeah.
not stupid either. Like already knows. There's a reason he didn't help Davey out with that money.
Oh yeah,
He's like, we're buddies, but I can't save your life.
yeah.
Shit, well, that whole episode, he was trying to collect because he didn't. Last thing he wanted to do was put himself in that position with Tony.
Yeah.
Uh, I, I think therapy helped him as a person, but I don't. I think the type of person that he is he's incapable. It's like he's capable of receiving the information, but he's incapable of utilizing it properly. Like I think he's definitely like one brain sided. Like he can't switch that mafia side off, even when he's like trying to run his family. Like, and I think that's kind of what does it too, is he wants to operate like that, but he can't operate like a civilian at all.
So I know what you're saying. So like for example, if he was not in the mob, do you think he would have been a normal guy? Because a lot of people say like, oh, he was a psychopath. He was. I don't think he was a psychopath
Why do, okay, why don't you think he's a psychopath? That's perfect. I want to know.
because there was people he truly cared about, like Uncle Junior. He cried for him. A psychopath would be like, you ever see Dexter?
I have, yeah.
And he never showed emotions. That would be like a psychopath. Tony, there's a lot of, yeah, he did feel a lot for the animals more, but he did care for his kids. He cared for, uh, let me see. I think he truly cared for Silvio and Paulie. Um, Paulie just pissed him off, but I think he cared about him. Um, and
Do you do you I mean how far out do you say caring though? Because I think that each and anyone in his crew, no matter what their position, if they got to the point to where they served no purpose, I think Tony would no have it would have no issue taking them out, whatever that means. But I don't I don't see that not happening. You know what I mean?
yeah, you're right. I think,
But then again, you can say, well, maybe he's probably going to try and help that person out too. He's probably going to bend the rules, and do some stuff he's probably not supposed to do to help this person out, which is also part of his issue.
yeah. Somebody just said, Vince said, I think he actually cared about Carmela as he never actually hit her.
That's that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, so I think, because you've studied up on Cosa Nostra and their rules and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So there is guys in that life where, like, for example, I watched Sammy the Bull's podcast and a few others where they had to whack a guy that they really loved, but
Right,
they were forced to do it. They looked at themselves, like Tony said, soldiers.
right.
So they had to follow the code, and if they didn't do what they were told, they would have been clipped.
Right.
So I do feel like he did love some of his guys, not all of them. I think he loves Silvio, Paulie. He did love Christopher till I think the end. Um, I don't think he liked Bobby too much.
No, he just took him as is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Junior, I think he loved Junior the most out of everybody.
Right. Well, yeah, yeah. I guess he did do almost everything for Junior.
I think yeah, he did the most for Junior as far as the guys than any other guy.
But it also played in his favor more than any other play that he played. Also, I mean that's the play of plays. I mean he's the boss without being the boss. And
Yeah.
I mean what's still in was it season is it season 5 with the New York beef where Lorraine has the meeting and they talking about trying to run a triumvirate or whatever, and they're like, well, Jersey's got two bosses. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're still talking about that in season 5. Like
Yeah.
that's wild.
So this kid Vince said about Bobby, he really felt bad for his death. Now that I think about it, because at the end of the show, he did say to Junior when Uncle Pat came to see him, he wanted it for Bobby's kids. Bobby was a made guy. It wouldn't be right. And
Hmm.
he's like, you remember Bobby? I think that part, yeah, he felt bad for him towards the end because that was his underboss.
I mean, he got closer to him than any of the other guys.
Yep.
I mean, I don't, he didn't fist fight Christopher. Christopher did. No, no, he punched him a couple of times, but no, they never went toe to toe. I think he probably would have killed anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, one of my very first Sopranos edits was that scene, but it was Bobby and Tony going back and forth with like the giant oversized mouth filter. It's fucking great. Matt hates it to this day, but I still share it every once in a while.
We got to get Matt on here sometime.
Yeah, we were going to the other day, and just something happened. We didn't line up. He was on the roster. He should be hiding in the audience somewhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. He
Yeah.
said he would.
Yeah. He's the best. Um, who was your favorite side character?
Side character, probably probably Davey Scatino or Benny. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could consider Benny a side character. I really like Benny. I like Benny just as a character, but I really like Davey's storyline and the whole the whole card game gambling stuff
Oh
is
yeah, yeah. That Davey was good. He was one of the most memorable, and he was only in what, like 3, 4 episodes. If
yeah, yeah. It was
yeah,
season 2. Yeah,
my favorite side character would probably be. Let me think.
thank you for the gift gallery, Ro.
Wow, side character. I'd probably say, yeah, Benny.
Yeah,
I'd go with Benny. He was solid. He was definitely solid, and that whole Christopher squad at the end was solid.
yeah.
Murmur was
Murmur was good. Murmur was good.
Corky was good.
Which one was Corky?
He was the Italian that had to do the translations.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I liked him.
The Italian duo that comes over, the Hitmen, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they got the
Kind
job
of funny.
Um, what other questions you got?
Which character would be the worst boss in real life?
Oh, that's a good one. The worst boss in real
Worst
life.
boss.
In real life?
Yeah, like in real life, if they're gonna like say they're gonna be Tony Soprano, they're gonna be number one.
Are we gonna go by just like who was already boss in the show?
No, it can be any character. I mean, if you think they qualify to be the worst, like if they do the worst job, who do you think would be like the absolute worst? Like, yeah,
Wow, that's a good
I
question.
I gotta say Ralph, just because he's so chaotic and unpredictable. There's no good gonna come from that.
You know who
No good.
he kind of reminds me of the boss of the Columbos back in the day, Karma and Persico,
Hmm.
like a snake like that. I could see him
Yeah, yeah.
surviving. I wouldn't say Ralph. Let me think. I would say I would have to go with Bobby Bacala
Okay. Why is that?
because I don't think he would be able to handle all the business side of it, and I don't think he would be able to have a whole team of people that would be ready to fight for him.
Right. Yeah. He hasn't done enough. He hasn't done enough to be somebody.
Yeah, like they all used to say, even New York was like that Mortadella's number three used to be Junior Soprano's driver.
Right. Right.
So New York didn't respect him. Paulie didn't respect him.
R.I.P. on Mikey on that one. He's turning over in his grave. He used to be Junior's driver.
Yeah, Mikey.
Talk about a horrible boss. That's a horrible boss right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Vince said Murmur was genuinely a good dude. Yeah, he was a good dude.
Oh, yeah. He tried to help Christopher.
I think everyone tried to help Christopher.
Yeah, they did. He couldn't help himself.
No, he shouldn't have been made.
No. So, yeah, I did a segment where every episode, who would have been dead if they committed crimes based on LCN rules. So Christopher would have been gone the first episode. As soon as he mentioned the whole, being in the movies thing, he would have been gone.
Right, because that's just like that's considered talking.
Yeah, and then Tony would have been gone as soon as he hit Mikey because you can't hit a made guy.
Ah, there's the rule bending.
Yep. Um. Yeah, when he hit Ralphie in real life, Tony would have been gone there.
He had when he had spoons whacked. That was out of line too.
The whole spoons thing.
Should he have been whacked or should he have just been like demoted and diverted over to or defaulted over to another crew?
He would. I think there was. So at the end of season one, there was a little war between all of them.
Mhm.
So when you're in a war, then it's okay. Like for example,
Okay,
Albert.
yeah, true.
The whole thing that happened in. We'll start with. Was it season four or season five when so the Lorraine Caluso gets whacked, right?
Yeah, I think this is all in five.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Lorraine's gone, and then Tony goes to Angelo and pitches the idea that gets Angelo clipped.
right.
So
And then
now,
the Italians come over and rush and whack Rusty.
yeah. So this whole thing, uh, technically, Phil was right the whole time with all of that.
Right. Okay.
Because when you're in a war, it's a lot. Because, you know, the rules are, yeah, when you're in a war, all things go, you know, that status stuff goes out the window. So
Right.
him,
Right.
him getting Angelo is basically him following up with what Johnny told him to do. So Phil wasn't wrong with all that.
Right.
Then when the whole Joey Peeps thing, that didn't help. And then when Billy went, Phil had his anger, and technically, I mean, they didn't have to get Tony didn't have to give up Tony B to them. He was all right to do it himself.
That's what I was going to ask you because isn't it like so? But isn't New York considering that like part of part of the deal? They took our guy, so you know we're gonna take your guy. You're gonna give us your guy. Like I feel like that's a hard stop too. Like I get that it's his cousin, but it's also his cousin went off the reservation and did that. You know, he's a big boy. You know, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he signed up for. He just got out of prison for doing 15 years. He's not
Yeah.
ignorant to the facts. Tony's not either, but
So and that's
it's frustrating now that I'm thinking about it. It's very frustrating.
yeah. So in that situation, there was actually a situation similar that happened in real life. I forget if it was the Gambinos. Somebody wanted somebody to go, and they wanted him personally. I
Hmm.
think I think Sammy Gravano wanted somebody personally because they killed his best friend Stymie.
Okay.
And Sammy wanted him badly, but the other family was like, just wait a little while, and then they took him out themselves
Right.
because uh, that's what the family is supposed to do. They're not allowed to technically give you up to somebody else. Paul
Right. Right.
Castellano, Paul Castellano one day, Vincent the Chingiganti had a problem with somebody in the Gambinos, and Paul said, so take care of it. Once he told the Genovese family to do that, a lot of the Gambinos turned their back on Paul, and that's one of the reasons why they took him out.
Okay. And you know your history, man. I'm gonna have to listen to some of your stuff goes into the actual like the Italian mob history, all that stuff you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I need to get my knowledge up on the actual factual stuff.
Oh yeah. Me and my
So
friend,
yeah.
we're in the Discord. We broke down a lot of the stuff with the whole Sopranos, like who they're based on a little bit.
Hmm.
So the Lupertazis are more close to like the Lucchese family.
Okay. I think I saw some of your YouTube lives were based on that or
Yeah. Yep.
had that on there.
Yeah. We did a lot of talking about that. Um. Oh, so remember when Phil and Butchie wanted to whack New Jersey, like all of them?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like
So
when they
that
first you're talking about when they first brought it up to Phil and he shot it down
yeah.
initially. Yeah.
So that whole thing was happened in real life, where
Okay.
Vicamuso and Gas Pipe Casso,
Hmm.
they wanted to take over the whole Jersey crew, and they were like bloodthirsty. So they wanted to take them out. That happened in real life. And then, remember when Phil said they make anybody and everybody over there, and the way that they do it, it's all messed up?
Yeah, I've seen some stuff on that. Jersey was the place they were making everybody.
Yeah. So in real life, John Gotti went up to them and said, "You have to redo everything because you didn't do it correctly." So they had to redo all the ceremonies.
Damn,
Yeah, that was a true event.
that's crazy.
So when they say the Pygmy family, they weren't kidding because that actually happened in real life.
That's wild. Wonder how many fingers they break that night. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the Gambinos and the Lucchese's were really close with like the Cavalcante family. I would argue that they were more powerful, the Jersey family, than the Philly family.
Okay. And
Because
what it's the main it's the main three, right?
you had, the five families, and then
Five. Oh, right.
Philly was supposed to be sixth, which they were, but everyone always slept on the Jersey family. But they were real. They were strong. They had big construction. Um, there's a lot of stuff in the show that's like that basically happened. Did you ever hear the wiretaps on the real DeCavalcantes when they're watching the TV and they're like, "Is that supposed to be me?"
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes.
Ye-
I've seen those. Yeah,
Yeah, that was funny.
those are great. Actually, yeah. Here's one. What how did you get introduced to The Sopranos, or what was like your if if it was originally or whatever? How did you get introduced to The Sopranos?
So when I was, because I'm 38, so when I was, it came out in 97. I didn't hear about it in 97. I heard about it around like 2000 ish, but I was like, 13, 14. I heard people talking about it, and I wasn't really into that kind of stuff. I wasn't, watching that. And then I winded up, I think when season six came out, I
Hmm.
was I think I was 16 or 17. I was like, all right, let me start from season one because season six coming out. And I fell in love with it right away. I thought it was one of the most hilarious shows I ever saw at that time.
Right.
I
Yep.
was cracking up, but I was also invested in the mob aspect and the family aspect.
Right. It was yeah. For the time, really, that was the show. I mean, really, there wasn't much. I mean, there was. I mean, there's preliminary stuff. I mean, what the Wire came out before that. There's Oz. I mean, there's stuff that came before it, but that's more like, I mean, building blocks. I feel like to that. Um, so yeah, you're not much older than me. I'm 34. I was born in '92. Um,
Yeah.
so I was a little bit younger. I didn't really catch it. I didn't catch it live at all, but I vividly remember my parents like watching it on Sunday nights. You know, the whole Sunday night, like nine
Yeah.
o'clock was the whole thing. My dad running around the house, quoting it, talking about going to the Bada Bing. What's that, Dad? No, it's where Tony Soprano does his work. Oh, okay, okay, cool. Just little crap like that. And then yeah, I actually didn't really give the series a chance until when COVID first hit. I was uh, I was working at Home Depot. I was working a tool rental, and it was dead of winter, nothing going on. But they got to pay us. We got to be there to work. So I'm there 40 hours a week doing almost nothing. I'm sitting in the back. I got my phone up, HBO. I pretty much watched the whole series on company time. Um, it, it was it's hard to explain. It's like it's almost perfect, but it's but it's not. Um, it was for me. It was more. I guess it was more of the characters. I felt invested. Um, Probably because I grew up just with me, just me and my family. I could feel like I was like, oh, okay, I've been there. Like I've felt that. I've been through that situation. And then the mob stuff is just great on top of that. But the whole family thing is really the selling thing for me. Because that's I feel like that overflows into the mob, and that's kind of Tony's problem is she's overly caring.
Yeah, so the whole family part of it and the characters themselves is what makes the show for me more than the mob stuff, I would
Yeah,
say.
like that's just like that's like extra. I
Yeah.
mean, people are, I got a buddy that I've been trying to get into, and he won't really get into it. And he's like, I'm just not about like the mob stuff all the time. And I'm trying to tell me like it's not mob all the time. Like yeah, he's top dog in the mob, but like imagine living the daily life of a gangster. Like you're not always doing gangster stuff, dude. Like
Yeah.
dude's eating shellfish, getting deathly sick, dreaming about his buddy being a fish, talking to the government. Like it's so much more than the mob, bro.
Yeah, I would argue that most of it's not mob stuff. It's like talking, it's because there's only like 80 something whackings in the whole thing.
Right. That's it's probably less. What is there? 87 episodes? How many?
Uh, I think 86.
86.
Yeah, 86.
So, who is that? Roughly a kill an episode.
Yeah,
You ballpark it a
yeah.
little less.
I think that even counts people just like Ray Curto and stuff like that.
Right, where they just die. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so it wasn't, it wasn't gory. The most gore was the probably between the Fat Dom probably.
yeah.
That was probably like the worst one.
I was gonna say maybe at Satriale's when they're cutting up Richie, but I mean really that's just blood splatter. I mean
Yeah,
there's more gore in that what you're talking about.
yeah,
They'd probably have a hard time flying that on TV at the time though,
yeah,
cutting up the meat with the with the deli slicer.
yeah. That was yeah. Season 2 was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, let's see.
Hey, no good. What's going on, no good? We're talking Sopranos over here. Thanks for joining, brother. His
All right. Uh, so Adriana, did she know more? Well, actually,
Carmela, right?
no. Adriana.
Adriana.
Adriana, did she deserve it? First things, I guess. Did she-
Oh, this is a tough one. Did she deserve it? See, I feel like she didn't really. I think she was ditzy
Hmm,
and she didn't really understand fully of what Christopher was in. She just saw the shoes and all the materialistic stuff that he was bringing
right.
home.
The money,
Yeah, the money,
bar.
the bar. Yeah, he gave her the bar. So she didn't really. She wasn't into it like a Carmela would have been. Like
I think
Carmela
she.
held guns and stuff, and Adriana was just more innocent. So, did she deserve it? I mean, she did try to hide stuff with the whole Matouche thing, but
That was to protect Christopher.
that was to protect Christopher because it was his place.
And I will say she did love Christopher. If anybody loved anybody, she loved Christopher.
She definitely did. Uh, if I'm a civilian, which I am, I would say she didn't deserve it.
Right.
But if I was protecting my other family, if I had one, I would I would have to let her go.
Right. I mean, I feel the same way. Yes, she's ditzy, but I think she was more aware. I think she was more. I think she was just in denial about it. Like she knew it was going on, but she decided not to deal with that part of her life. And like I think she just accepted that was like I look at Adriana like so I'm 34.
Yeah.
Been through a lot of stuff. Hung around with a lot of people. Probably like someone I probably would have hung out with 10 years ago at a freaking party, and probably never met before, but would hang out with for 2 or 3 days later, part ways, probably never see again. Someone like that. Like she's there for the party. Yeah, she loves Christopher, but I mean, she's getting high with him the whole time too. Like she's not like I don't know where you draw that line either though, because she doesn't sit on any dogs. She doesn't she doesn't destroy. I mean,
That's
before she
true.
gets caught
That's
up, she doesn't really destroy any lives. I
that,
mean, I
yeah.
don't drink. I don't drink anymore. So I know. I destroy lives when I drink. But my wife can drink. There's a difference.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not ignorant to that fact, but I think that I don't know. I think she was chasing something that was never going to be there with Christopher. There was no happy ending outside of New Jersey. Like
Now, what
you're not gonna
about
have.
uh, it's kind of around the same question, but flip side. When Christopher was staring at the couple with the kids, and he's at the gas station,
Yes, yeah, the guy that looks like Ed Bassmaster.
what do you think? What do you think Christopher was thinking? Do you think he was looking at it like, oh, they have kids, she can't have kids. All right, I'm making my decision. Let's get rid of her.
No, I'm thinking. Honestly, I think he's looking at that and he's thinking, "There's no effing way that I can do that for the rest of my life. That guy looks miserable."
Like a
He probably.
Vito situation with the whole he was like, let's play cards, and then everyone's like, oh, we got to go home. He's like, the night just started.
Yeah, but I think at that point he was contemplating turning with Adriana, but then he saw that guy with the family, and he knew that he couldn't be that guy. He's not built to be that guy. He would probably just not want to exist anymore if he ended up being that guy. He couldn't handle it, right? The regularness of life.
That
Like,
yeah. So my first watch ever, when I saw that scene, I was like, all right, he don't want to be that kind of guy. The guy does look miserable.
right.
Uh, uh, that's I'm gonna agree with you on that. Maybe the kid thing had something to do with it, but I doubt it.
I think he was over that as long as there was like a possibility, like as long as it was never like a hard, like, I can't get pregnant. It's just like there's stuff we can do, it's 21st century, this, that, I think he's on board with that. Um, I think the guys kind of talked him into that too, because he was like, well, what if she can never get pregnant? And they're sitting at the Bing, and he was like, technology nowadays, this and that. And,
That's
so
true.
I don't. I mean, the kid thing was there, but I don't think that was the pressing issue then.
That's
I think it was living a life where you're driving a minivan with three kids and a wife, getting gas, eating Doritos at the pump, you know, barely being able to afford gas,
yeah.
you know, and he's filling up his freaking H3 diesel Hummer, you
Yeah.
know. It,
Also, I think he definitely loved her because look, he made the whole cleaver thing. I don't think he ever got over her. So
I you think that's a positive thing towards Adriana? Because I think that's I feel like that's kind of like a shot after after the grave.
I think
Like he was still mad at her too.
I think he was mad at Tony more than her.
Yeah, true, true.
Plus, he did complain to that one guy at the I think it was the restaurant where they were at, one of his sponsors or something, that he had to do something he didn't want to do. I forget the exact quotes he was saying. So he definitely kind of regretted it, I feel like.
Right.
And then
What do
when,
you
go ahead.
well, like? You know, let's stay on the Adriana thing. Go ahead.
Flack says Chrissy moved on quick though when he had a new wife after. I feel like he didn't move on because when Carmela talked to him about the whole Adriana thing, he kind of brushed it off quick, and his face looked like he had some, regret towards it. So I didn't think he liked his new wife, to be honest with you.
I think he was just going through the motions.
Yeah,
I think that it was like an obligation. Like if he's gonna move past the whole Adriana thing, he has to do this. Like
yeah,
because I mean, what nobody's gonna be able to look at him and not think of Adriana if he just doesn't, you know, doesn't move on after that whole incident. It's
that's
gonna,
true.
you know,
I don't,
kind of give him a black mark. You know, no one's ever gonna say anything, but they're gonna, you know, they're gonna say something, you know, amongst themselves.
I didn't think about that. That's true.
I mean, it would look strange. I mean, how many male widows gangsters do you know? Trying to, now you thought about it. You thought about it. You said,
Yeah, that's true.
so
Bobby was a widow, Fleck said.
yeah, he was. Poor Bobby.
He moved on quick. Well, Janice moved on to him quick.
What if Bobby got with Mikey's wife instead? He
Oh,
almost did.
man. Uh,
That'd have been a power couple.
it would have been a power couple, but then I think Bobby picked Janice to move up the ladder.
Yeah, I mean it helps,
Yeah.
man.
And then Janice probably, I think they would used each other.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's the Soprano uh, mental illness is the manipulation gene one way or another. They all got it.
Yeah, look, Janice went for Richie. That didn't work. She picks Ralphie. That didn't work. And then Bobby, and then that didn't work.
And freaking Livia's Livia's planning hits with Junior in season one and acting like she's got dementia.
Yep.
And Tony was right. I mean, when Tony told Livia, I think it means the same thing to Janice too. If she was born after the feminists, they would have been the gangsters.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Current day they could definitely be female bosses. I mean, definitely Livia. I mean, maybe yeah, maybe Janice. Definitely Livia.
There's a I told you about the show Gomorrah, right?
Yes, yes.
So that show has female bosses, and then when Tony goes to Italy, he's talking to a female boss. So I could see Janice and Livia would have definitely been a powerhouse in Naples.
Yeah.
In the States, I don't know. Maybe. I think when people ask me, who do you think, what would have happened? Who would have ran the Soprano family if Tony got clipped at the end? I always said, people were like, Paulie. I would say Janice would have. She
You
knew
think she would just step in?
she knew the business inside out. She had Johnny Boy. She had, she grew up around it. So I think she would have been probably boss of the whole family over there.
That's a good one. Now, I mean, I don't know how the community feels about this, but I kind of halfway like the Patsy Parisi theory.
So,
And I know there's a lot of like trade-offs and extensions of that, but like the main one I'm talking about is where uh Patsy had the wax set up and he steps in, but it was all kind of like planned, seeded from the beginning, and that's why like Patrick is introduced and starts dating Meadow. It gets him closer to Tony, gets his guard down. There's a lot more to it, but that's my main theory on that.
my main theory would be Paulie.
You think Paulie did it orchestrated it with New York?
Uh, I'm not going to say 100%, but so Paulie, after the whole thing where Ralph, he got ruled against and things changed, and then he tried to go to Johnny Sack, that didn't work. So after that, he was more like, sitting back. He wasn't kicking up. And then when the war happened, well, before that, when Phil has a heart attack, Paul is like, "You happy about this, Tone?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was a major uh, pain in my ass."
Yeah,
So Paulie, I don't think he liked that whole thing. And I have a feeling that he knew New York was winning. So I said this, I think, to you in the last one
yeah,
with the barber scissors.
yeah. With the he showed up with the scissors and they were
Yeah.
yeah,
He turns down, I think he turned down the April thing because, like you said, he was superstitious. But then on the other hand, also, it was because he knew that maybe he would be in charge or something. So
right.
that's why when they mention, oh, Paulie Galtieri, they're like, no, management. So that's what I think, that Paulie, because Paulie was the one in the house with him at the end before he
Hmm.
went to Holston's. I mean,
Uh,
Patsy was too, now that I think
so
about it.
that's what I was gonna, that's what I was going to say. But yeah, we know about that. So you think that Paulie Paulie was able to set aside how he felt about or he was able to set aside what happened with his interaction with Carmine and realizing that Johnny never mentioned him and that you think he was okay with that and still pretty much went to New York to get through that because I feel like that was a pretty hard blow from New York straight up. I mean because uh well I guess Johnny wasn't boss yet at the time. Carmine was still alive.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
I guess I kind of have to eat that because he's not a boss. So I mean, you can only respect it so much. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
and at the
Fuck,
s- at,
he's had it bad though. Paulie's old, dude. Give that man a break.
yeah, but then again, Carmine was too.
Yeah, I mean, I, I like Carmine. I was just never. I'm just kind of indifferent about him. I mean, he's a good boss. I mean, he's a good old timer. I mean, nothing really stood out. I mean, I can say the thing about same thing about Carmine Jr. I
Oh
mean, he's
yeah,
kind of funny, but I mean, I really like Johnny Sack as the boss. I mean, if we're talking outside of Tony Soprano, Johnny Sack is my guy.
Johnny Sack was one of my favorite characters. As far as boss material, I could rate all the bosses right now if you want me to.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So the first best boss in the show, from what we've seen, I'm gonna put Carmine Senior number one. From what we've seen and heard,
Okay.
number two would be Junior.
Oh wow. Okay, that's high.
That's high.
That's very
So
high.
now let's not forget, Junior was boss for 5 seasons.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that Junior said, like the whole thing with Ralph and Gigi, Tony didn't know what to do. Junior knew what to do.
He was right.
He was right with that. He was right with the whole thing with Richie. He
Hmm.
did kind of play double agent, but it was a smart move on his part because things were falling to shit.
Right. He's trying to pay his bills.
Yeah,
At that point, he don't have a pot to piss in.
yeah. Let's. Oh, when he was like to Tony when he started getting a dementia, and he's like, "Tell Phil," which was the right thing to do.
Hmm.
Tell Phil where Tony B is. End this crap because Tony B was wrong. Tony, and then he's like, he wasn't made Phil's son. He said, but also Tony's thinking, yeah, the Tony B wasn't made either.
Right. That's true. Yeah, he wasn't yet.
So I think Junior was second as far as boss. Third would be let me see. Third would be Tony.
Okay.
So I picked Tony as third because he he saw 5 to 10 steps ahead of a lot of things. When him and Johnny Sack, when Johnny Sack wanted to get rid of Carmine, he was kind of playing Johnny. He was
Mm.
when they were at the like office place or whatever, the mall, wherever they were walking at, and
Thank you,
he's like,
everyone.
all future HUD projects. He's like 60-40 in my favor. Johnny's just accepting everything that he says.
Hmm.
So now Tony's thinking about it, and he's like, this doesn't. I forget who he. I think he tells Christopher like something's wrong with that. He wants to get in there. So the thing that Johnny was trying to do that a lot of people I don't see talking about is if Tony would have said yes to everything and got rid of Carmine, now Johnny owns him. And then he could be like, oh, I know who did it. Tony did it and absorb Jersey and all the construction. So it wouldn't be 60-40 anymore. It'd be 100% to Johnny.
Right, right. Where he just kind of worms his way in.
Yeah, because Johnny's a snake. So I feel
Right.
like Tony read that situation clearly. Now, Tony's downside was his anger. Um, he lost it towards the end between the gambling and then his anger, and then no shrink, no junior. He didn't have junior anymore as a shrink either.
Hmm.
So that was his downfall. And then I would put Johnny Sack after that because, oh no, I'm forgetting somebody. Hold on. The best boss.
Uh,
So
Jackie Senior. Someone. I think Flacco a minute ago said Jackie Senior.
I was going to get to Jackie Sr.
Okay.
So Tony's not third. Phil's third.
Okay.
Phil's third.
About the book.
Phil did everything by the book.
Can't fault the man.
Everything Phil did. Besides, he did one thing wrong, and that was ducking Tony with the money and then crashing.
Was about whacking Vito his place, or was it
I
Tony's place? Because Tony was the one who found out it should have been him. Because obviously, I mean, they have to squash it by the book, but Tony or company should have done that. I mean, he's not breaking a rule,
I feel
but
like
he's not following the book.
yeah, I feel like it kind of is his place because he was married to his cousin, and Tony took
I
too
was gonna
long.
say, I can't. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's valid. I mean, that's why it's. I think that's why it's not breaking a rule. Yeah.
Yeah. So I also have a feeling Paulie gave up Vito.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because a couple of scenes before that, Paulie walks away when he finds out about the whole Atlantic City thing.
Mm.
Flack
Yeah.
said also when the thing happened, Coco harassing Meadow, which added to Phil's rage. But Flack, you got to remember, you can't do that to a boss's daughter. That's a death sentence.
Yeah.
So
That's like Tony going up to Phil's wife and slapping her on the ass.
yeah. Oh hey, Reform, what's going on? Yeah, you can't do that. So technically, Coco Phil should have got rid of him. I don't know why he said forget Coco. That part, that's another part he was wrong in. So he was wrong two times. So yeah, he would be third. Tony would be fourth, and then now, do you think was Little Carmine a boss for a little bit? It was a power vacuum.
It was I think it was a power vacuum. I think I think everyone thought that Carmine Jr. had some power behind the scenes, at least for sure after senior passed.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever. I know. Well, he says he never wants a title, so I don't think he ever claims it. I mean, yeah, I don't think he was boss. I think he was just a this decision maker, shareholder.
So then I would probably put so after Tony would be Johnny Sack, and then I would pick
Man, let's look.
I would pick Jackie Senior last.
Why last?
Because before the series starts, and the flashbacks to '95 when Bomb and Sarah's a rat,
Hmm.
Tony and Junior they inherited a lot of rats. Uh, you know, Bompensero selling H, and I think he didn't have a good hold on the family. The Sopranos were going at it with each other, Tony and Junior. I don't think he handled things too well from what we've seen.
Right.
So
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah, that's the only reason. I mean, I wish we would have saw more of him.
Yeah, that I mean that would be a spinoff. That would be a spinoff to do current day. I think something like that where you could have enough creative freedom. You don't have to have him come back. I mean, he's like what, almost 30 years older now.
Yeah,
So, um, but like yeah, like a side series or something like that, I think would be really interesting for the at least for the fans. I mean, I feel like we're more interested in that stuff than what we got with Mini Saints. I mean,
yeah,
serves a purpose, and I mean, it's overall canon, and it's part of the timeline. So,
yeah. I agree. Black said Jackie Jr. was technic. I mean, Jackie Sr. was technically an acting boss for a little bit since Erkley DiMeo was jailed in '95. I mean, acting
that's
boss, it's
another one
still
too. Earthly.
it's still a boss. If you're acting boss, you're the street boss basically.
Oh,
So
what? Tony was acting boss too, right?
yeah, he was the street boss, but yeah, Junior was the lightning rod for 5 seasons. But New York respected him because that whole sit down with the whole Ralph and Johnny, Carmine Sr. had enough respect to get Junior on the phone to talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Who was more loyal, Paulie or Silvio? Obviously, I know your answer.
The more loyal, Silvio or Paulie? Lem- It's kind of hard. Let me think about it.
And I
Because I'm
guess we'll just
gonna,
go factual too. I mean, just based on what we actually know, and not using any like.
yeah. So I'm gonna say Silvio was more loyal.
Okay, why is that?
So Silvio only, from my understanding, off the top of my head, he only pulled one bad thing, and that was the floor tile thing. Other than that, what else did he do that was going behind Tony's back?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and Paulie's got all kinds of
Oh yeah,
back alley deals going on.
yeah, yeah. So Silvio is definitely more loyal. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that kind of sucks too, because I definitely feel like Tony has a closer relationship with Paulie than Silvio. But I mean that's also a position thing too. I mean you probably don't want to be best friends with your consigliere, but you're it was Paulie was just captain, wasn't he?
So
He was
this
just a long time captain.
this is the confusing part of it all. In season two, when they were at the Lou Costello, I think, and he tells Paulie, "It's you and Sil together. and then Furio and Bump and Sarah reports to them.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to think.
So
I
is that
mean,
under bosses, but then Sill's also consig?
that's what I always thought, but I think if you look, it does. I think it shows Paulie like as an enforcer.
Okay. And he's
Yeah,
he's definitely a captain because
he was a captain. Yeah,
Christopher Christopher runs his crew when he's in jail.
yeah, he was definitely a captain. I was trying to think if he was an underboss in that, but he couldn't have been because Junior was technically still a boss, so I don't think they had an underboss.
Right. Right. I wonder if the have you seen that one family, the family tree, like the official one everyone uses?
Yeah,
That's that would have it on there.
I think I think it showed Paulie as a captain
Hmm. Okay.
or an enforcer, but that's still a captain.
Right. Right. Was when
Uh,
Bobby Bacala made underboss in the end of the series.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? He was that one episode. He did say the advice he gave to Tony with the whole Phil and the Vito Jr. thing. He was right about that.
Hmm.
So I don't think he would have been a bad underboss. He really grew. So I think, yeah, he was a good underboss as for what it was.
Right.
Um, did you like Mikey as an underboss?
Oh, Homisi?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He's kind of a dirty guy, but like,
yeah,
I mean, he was the I think he was like the first like serious comedic character that I liked. Like he's got a lot of good one-liners, and a
oh
lot of
yeah,
his line deliverance is like just that one liner gut punch. But I
yeah.
mean, he's right about a lot of stuff too. It's just on the you know at the wrong place at the wrong time. Um,
Yeah, he knew there was a leak in Tony's boat.
mhm.
He knew. It was funny with the when he was like, "When you fly, I won't shoot you down." Deal.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That was
He's,
that.
what'd you see here? Poor guy didn't want to live no more. He just jumped.
And then when he's like, when he went into Sammy Grigio's car game,
Yeah, yeah. That was a really good episode. Uh,
I love that episode. Episode one has a lot of classics.
yeah, yeah. Uh, his demise scene is really good with the whole tracksuit outfit and kind of the cold open to the scene. It's not like you don't really expect it. It's just like a normal scene. There's no cut to it. It's just him running out of his house. I
Yeah.
think isn't he smoking a cigarette while he's jogging?
I don't
I think he put
recall.
I think he puts one out or something and starts coughing.
You know what I hated about that?
Huh.
So Mikey, at the end of it all, and it doesn't seem like it was his character to say, because he typically ratted. He's like, it was Junior. Junior made me do it.
Hmm.
I didn't like how that happened. I feel like Mikey wouldn't have said that.
Do you think he would just not talk? He just wouldn't.
Yeah,
Just
like
like
just
go F yourself or something.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the
Uh,
only thing. Because now when I think of Mikey Palmise, I think of he was funny, but at the end he ratted out Junior.
right. I think he was a little too big. He was a little too big for his pants.
Yeah,
He's he was already at the top, and he wasn't even. You know, he acted. He was like he was like the Scarface of the family.
yeah,
He was always flaunting and thought he was more than what he was. And I think he thought he was untouchable, probably. And then when he realized when he when he got hit and he realized it was Paulie and Christopher chasing him, then he realized he was it's not a it's not a game,
yeah.
and that's the real so maybe he really wasn't that tough.
Now I have a good question for you. If you had to let somebody be in more seasons than they were, would you pick Mikey or would you go for Vin McKazian?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one because there's a Mikey's a good character and I like having him around, but there would be so much juicy plot come from Vin McKazian and that side. I gotta go Vin.
I gotta
It's
go with Vin
that
too.
now that you say that, that was cut really short, and
Yeah,
that was like interwoven into the seasons.
yeah,
Uh, that's where isn't that where Ray Curto got caught up?
yep.
Or we speculate. I don't think it was ever really proven, but I mean, I think what we assume that was first contact.
I think that was his first contact. Yeah, he got caught in that. So, but yeah, Vin, I really want to see more of him.
Yeah, because I think I kind of wanted to see him actually produce the paperwork on
Oh,
Big
yeah,
V, so there could be a confrontation of facts. That would be that's a missed opportunity.
yeah. Um, plus, I feel, oh, here's another thing. Tony, the way he treats his assets, because Vin was one of the most biggest assets he had at the time,
Hmm.
treats him like garbage.
Hmm.
Like
Oh, hey, how you doing, Ben?
he wanted
What you
30.
got for me?
Yeah, like he owed him a couple, what, 20,000 or something. I would
Yeah.
rather have intel than the money.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be like, bring me good enough information and I'll clear your tab. I mean, that's
Yeah,
you do the
yeah,
same thing to Artie. And he
exactly.
did the same thing to Artie. He's like, well, just clear my tab at at the
Yeah,
studios, and I'll take on your loan.
yeah,
Sam's is what, a snake and the scorpion?
yep. The frog and the
Yeah,
scorpion.
frog and the scorpion. I always missay that. I think I said that to Matt one time. He's like, you gotta say that right.
Yeah.
It's frog and the scorpion.
Now, there's a lot of people that say Richie Aprile was the worst guy in the show.
No, he's good. He's good. I mean, he's bad at being. He's good at being bad.
Yeah, like
He's the Tuco Salamanca of uh, The Sopranos.
I never saw Breaking Bad.
Oh, dude,
I know, I never saw it. I will, because everyone keeps.
talk about a watch along, bro.
Yeah,
Dude, I'd do a watch. I'd rewatch the hell out of that, dude.
yeah.
Hell yeah,
All right,
hell yeah.
we could get that going. But
Man, that's a damn God, man. Yeah, I'm excited now.
yeah. Um, what was I just saying?
Uh, Vin McKazen.
Oh yeah, Ben. Oh no, Richie. Richie.
Oh yeah, Rich. Yeah, he was a good, he was a good, he's good at being bad. I mean,
Like
he wasn't a bad character. Yeah.
I don't even think you could compare him with Ralphie.
No, those are two different. Those are two different people.
Yeah,
Two different bad.
yeah, because I could argue that Paulie was worse than Richie.
You see. Why? Because Polly was so resentful. Because Polly was resentful, angry.
I don't think Richie would ever smother an old lady.
Oh yeah, he did do that.
And
Can't defend that. But I mean, Richie ran Beansy over, put it in reverse, ran him over again.
but
He
here's
wouldn't give him 10% of his pizza joint. Like that's that's pretty bad. I mean, that's not. He might as well. He might as well. I mean, he went back and he messed them up a couple times.
yeah, I do feel like Beansy, because Beansy was an associate, like he wasn't
Hmm.
just a civilian.
Right.
A lot of people think that he was a civilian, and he was a big dealer. He was selling H with all of them.
Oh,
So
Jackie.
yeah,
Yeah.
so he was no saint. And then he knows Richie's a made guy, and he's talking stupid to him. What's he? He was like poking a bear at that point.
Mm. Yeah. I
Plus,
mean,
he's
that's true.
yeah, and they're supposed to be like good friends, and he never visited him. So I made a video once. I'm like, if you were in Richie's shoes and your friend, you get out, you see a friend has pizza businesses, he didn't even send you a letter. You hooked them up and stuff, and he didn't even go to your party when you got out. I'd be fuming.
Right.
So I mean, it is messed up what he did, but I understand why he did it.
Right.
So I don't even think Richie's like the top five worst, baddest characters on the show.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let me know whenever you want to do the next one.
Like, yeah. Yeah. I should be. I mean, during the week, if you're free during the week, I should be good during the week around these times. So I'll just hit you up.
All right. Sounds good, bro.
All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
All right, brother. See you.